Hello, folks. This channel is called Old Times is Not Forgotten. I think it's important to not forget the past. So, on this channel, we read old newspapers and look at old movie clips. In this picture, people are protesting the Prohibition Act because we are in the roaring 20s in this video. In the 20s, it was Prohibition, and there were Prohibition agents who captured illegal booze and had a lot of fun destroying it. It looks like they're enjoying their work. These two officers look almost like they wish they could sample the goods. Today's old newspaper is from Rochester, New York. It's called the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle, dated Sunday, January 14th, 1923. Hey, and I have a special treat for you. If you stay tuned to the end of this video, you'll see some Ziegfeld Follies women. Invisibility becomes reality. Question: has anything been invented to make a person invisible or transparent? Answer: not yet, but it is not improbable. Scientists have found a liquid that, if hand or arm immersed in it, will make flesh disappear almost entirely from view. Bones, however, will be visible as under X-rays. Of course, flesh has to be kept in this liquid to be invisible. Mixture makes flesh transparent because it has the same index of light refraction as the flesh. Two girls unfamiliar with baseball were watching the local 9 play a visiting team last Saturday. "Isn't that fine?" remarked one girl. "We have a man on every base." "Why, that's nothing," said the other. "So have they." Ah, those 1920s young women. Listen to this one about a girl with stage fright. She is a freshman at the university. A shy, self-conscious maiden whom the glare of limelight fills with undulated terror. To her timorous soul, the announcement of Dr. John R. Slater that each member of his class in freshman rhetoric would be called upon to give a 5-minute speech before the class brought consternation. The dreaded day arrived. When her name was called, this violet by the mossy stone mounted the platform and hesitantly began her effort. For a moment or two all went well. Then she endeavored to point out to her classmates the varying impressions made by different students upon the minds of the members of the faculty. "It is interesting," she said, "to see the way the professors hold the different girls." A sudden volcano of laughter checked her phrase in midair. Shrieks and giggles arose from her listening companions. Even the staid professor, whose sense of humor is one of the keenest, shook with silent laughter till his face grew red and a solitary tear coursed down his cheek.
The deep-crowned cloche is the hat of the moment at a millinery show in Chicago back in 1926. It's been revived since, but it still makes you think of Clairvaux, the Charleston, and flappers. So do those low-waisted, high-skirted dresses. were the halcyon days for millinery before the threat of hatlessness. The jet-trimmed satin helmet looks like a fugitive from the football gridiron. So does the model. Flapper fashions. Here in the days of bootleg booze and bobbed hair, high skirts and a low IQ are very much the fashion. Don't let the teacups fool you. With smoking a newly acquired art, or rather a newly won freedom, Flossie and Flora Flapper sported all the latest gadgets for lighting up. In fact, they had almost everything but a match. Notice Flossie Flapper's shirt and tie and the pockets in her belt. This gives you an idea just how far equality could go in the early days of women's suffrage. Here's one of the reasons for short skirts of the time. You couldn't very well reach for a cigarette lighter at the knee if you were wearing skirts to the ankle. And think of the fire hazard of a hemline to the floor. If Flora Flapper's slip shows, it's because she doesn't want Mother to know she smokes. But this girl's feather in her cap is a cigarette holder in her hat. And that's one way to let smoking go to your head.
Herbert Hoover Jr., son of the Secretary of Commerce, with the radio set which was recently heard by amateurs in Switzerland. The announcement of this achievement was made by the American Radio Relay League. The picture was made at the Bureau of Standards, where he conducted his experiments, building the entire set himself. He has taken the set with him to California, where he is attending the college at Leland Stanford University. It was all about automobiles in the 1920s. Here's a page in the paper about service automobiles. And on the opposite page, some pictures of the helpful traffic cops in the town of Rochester. 100 million worth of motor cars were stolen during 1922. More automobiles were stolen in the United States last year than all the cars owned in Germany, Austria, Bulgaria, and Turkey. These were valued at approximately $100 million. Many were also destroyed or damaged by fire or accident. Progress. Ye olden days, the sedan chair. A few years back, buggy riding. Today, the motor car. Ever since the automobile was invented, there have been bad drivers. Take a look at this 1950s example.
You had to go out, huh? Saturday night, you wanted to go. I want to go out Saturday night. Want to go out. Want to have some fun. Sit home, sit home. Saturday night. Look at this traffic. Can't do nothing. You can't go anywhere. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Darling, look, there's the restaurant we're going to. We have plenty of time.
Yeah, that's the restaurant, sure. 7:30, we got to be at the theater at 8:30, huh? All we got to do now is eat. That's all. But first, we got to park the car.
There's a space over there.
Yeah, there is a space over there. Whoops, and there is that. Oh, there's a sign there. What does it say?
Parking limits 1 hour during weekdays from 3 to 4 a.m. Tuesdays and Saturdays from 6 to 8. Sundays, parking permitted between 7 and 7:01 p.m. Thursdays and Fridays, this street closed to commercial traffic between 4 a.m. and 6 p.m. when it becomes a one-way street. Mondays, parking permitted between 4 and 6.
Let's see, this is Saturday night. Sunday.
Darling, look, there's another sign underneath. It's smaller.
Yeah.
It looks simpler.
What's it say?
No parking at any time.
Start going, that's it. I don't know why you had to go out there every time. Look at this traffic. I'm gonna go I don't care! I'm saying the place an empty lane. Get out of the way! Get out of the way!
You're not supposed to drive on the sidewalk. You're supposed to drive.
Look out! There we go! Darling, get a place here. No, I'm going crazy. I'll shift it in reverse and put it in place and go!
Over there. Don't get so nervous, darling.
There is a space over there. I'll let it go. That's my spot. That's my parking space. You park in there, I'll break your bones. I guess I told her, huh? All right, now. I'm going to back it in. Direct me.
Bring it back this way. Little way.
Okay.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Now, put it forward a little bit. Whoop, whoop.
Wait a minute, I didn't get started.
Whoop, whoop. No, cut her to the left.
Cut it to the left.
Whoop. Now, cut her to the right.
Right.
To the right.
Now, put it to the right.
Now. Inch her forward.
Inch her forward.
Inch her forward. Inch. Wait. Now, up.
Where?
Up. Up. Hold it.
It's a heavy car. All right, now, just throw it in. How's it on your side?
Perfect.
Okay. Back it up. Where did you want to go on Saturday night? For what reason? What?
The reckless age. Unless joyriders obey the injunction to stop, look, and listen, many of the motor cars purchased at the automobile shows next month will be impaled on the cowcatchers of railway locomotives during the new year 1923 and smashed to smithereens. Unless speed-crazed motorists stop stepping on the gas so flippantly, hundreds of persons riding in these motor vehicles will be killed in grade crossing smash-ups during 1923. Their lives forfeited to the mania for speed and disregard for safety precautions. Tire on a riot. A friend of mine was driving his car on a country road at a good rate of speed when, to his surprise, he saw the tire from a front wheel traveling along the road ahead of him. He remarked to his companion that if they traveled fast enough, they would catch up with that tire. Observations of Uncle Walt. Cars and cars. I have a large and costly car, upholstered in the richest plush, and when I wish to jaunt afar, I ought to get there with a rush. It truly is a gorgeous boat, and should with ease my person haul. The man who sold it sprained his throat, explaining how it beats them all. But every time I take it out, it gives me naught but grief and toil. The carburetor has the gout, a cylinder starts pumping oil. And while in agony I try to find what makes its works complain, the cheap tin cars go whizzing by, their drivers grinning with disdain. My tumbril costs 4,000 bones, and every time I drive she quits. She coughs and backfires, heaves and groans, and throws 100 kinds of fits. And always when she sheds a sigh and leaves me stranded far from home, the cheap tin cars go whizzing by and kick up gravel, dust, and loam. I'm often stalled, it is my fate, to have a car that will not run, and all the cheap cars in the state whiz by and have all kinds of fun. With patience I could bear my load and make some showing too of glee, if I were stuck upon the road and there were no one else to see. But when I feel the motor die and know I'm stalled for half a day, the cheap tin cars go whizzing by, so instantly blithe and gay.
Two sheets to the wind. It's 1921, and in Pasadena, California, chambermaids show how to make beds in a hotel, and in a hurry. Here's the eventual winner, making bed in 2 minutes, 29 seconds. Just think how exciting this contest would have been in a high wind.
Music maestro, Police. It's 1923. The musician is Henry Cowell, the instrument is a piano, and the music is fantastic. But it was anything to be different in those days. This is called Dempsey diapason, and in case Henry's technique is too fast for you, here it is slowed down. Oh, it looks pretty, doesn't it? The audience should take a bow for listening.
In late 1920s, there's a rare sight in New York City's West 145th Street. For here stands one of last a fast-dwindling tribe of cigar store Indians. Now of great value, rarely if ever seen outside museums, cigar store Indians stood woodenly outside nearly every tobacco shop in America and in England, too. For it was in England that the first of the tribe showed up, true representatives of how Britain's sculptors imagined the American tobacco-smoking natives must appear. Early in 1700s, they spread silently over all of England. Late the same century, they migrated to America, and their forebears' then not so happy hunting ground. For more than 100 years, Big Chief Tobacco Shop glared fiercely out at cigar-puffing pale-faces. Now, fine figure of red man is fine memory.
Here's the What to Wear pictorial page in the Rochester Democrat and Chronicle for today's newspaper. Let's see what was the height of fashion. Spanish shawls in their colorful beauty are being worn by American women for evening wear. This one has white ground and beautifully colored rose design. The world of fashion has gone almost mad over paisley pattern. When one does not possess one of the rare old shawls, printed silks have been used. This wrap is built of a real paisley shawl, lined and faced with matching shade of dull red. Small hat of Angora felt with insets of gray taffeta and turned up brim. Silver buttons and embroidery help to produce a smart example of what can be done with a neutral tone in millinery. This veil of Spanish lace is fastened to the flanges of the ripple-brimmed hat in such a way as to cover only the lower part of the face.
It's the late 1920s, and Florence Ziegfeld, famous Follies producer, selects his most beautiful showgirl.
Many years that I've been identified with the American theater, I have glorified many beautiful girls. I take great pleasure in presenting Miss Grace Moore of the present Follies, whom I consider the most beautiful brunette in the world today. I've often been asked why I have more blondes than brunettes in my shows. The truth is, there are more beautiful blondes in the world than there are brunettes. As you can see, Miss Moore not only has marvelous features, but also the beautiful form necessary to become a Ziegfeld girl.
Thank you for watching today's video. Here's the bonus I promised you, a big collage of Ziegfeld girls.
You're wonderful, you, lovely you. You completely satisfy. I'm confessing that is why there's nobody like you. You, so much depends upon you. Tell me true. Will it be my fate at all? Will I ever rate at all with somebody like you? Just to think that you love me makes my future look strong. I swear by stars above me, I'm darned if I don't feel like writing a song about you. Music and words about you, lovely you. Let me sing out praises for, let me sing out praises for nobody but you.
song to you, it's not a song of love. There's not a word that speaks of mush and none about stars above. We've had enough of songs like that, I'm sure you will agree. So here's the thing we're going to sing, it's foolish as can be. A chorus girl hates anyone who asks her out to dine. Pardon me, while I laugh. A Scotchman is the first one who will buy a glass of wine. Pardon me, while I laugh. The chauffeurs and the traffic cops, they get along so fine. And all the chauffeurs think the coppers really are divine. The coppers throw them kisses when they pass before it's time. Pardon us while we laugh. The alcohol sold nowadays is for external use. Pardon me, while I laugh. The fat girl should eat candy, it's the best way to reduce. Pardon me, while I laugh. The first child of a married couple brings them great delight. But when they want to get some sleep, it cries with all its might. Then hubby says, you stay in bed, I'll walk with him all night. Pardon us while we laugh. In every song you've ever heard, there's been a second verse. We tried to write one for this thing, but it got worse and worse. We worked on it all summer through, the winter, spring, and fall. And then we said we will not write a second verse at all. Today the girls all love to sit at home each night and so. Pardon me, while I laugh. They never ride in taxis and they hate to see a show. Pardon me, while I laugh. A fellow and his wife, he went to have a dance or two. He flirted with a flapper, as the fellas often do. Then wifey said, you dance with her, I'll wait till you get through. Pardon us while we laugh. Last night I met a colored boy in a graveyard all alone. Pardon me, while I laugh. He said, I sure do love this place, it makes me feel at home. Pardon me, while I laugh. Well, wasn't he afraid to linger in that lonesome place? No, he was fond of ghosts like all the people of his race. He used to go there every night to meet them face to face. Pardon us while we laugh. You know, Bill, I started to tell you, pardon me, while I laugh. Sure, I was going to start to tell you the same thing, but pardon me, while I laugh. You know, we both... Yes, I know. It's the funniest... Pardon us while we laugh. I said to myself, there's a hot-looking little number.
Don't let it throw you, champ. I'm 20 degrees cooler than you think.
Oh, one of them refrigerated dames, huh?
That's right. You're not the guy to defrost me either.
Funny, I don't have an ear for beauty.
Just an eye for it.
I'm sorry, girls.
Oh, say, come here. You want to
Mr.
get
Ziegfeld,
credit for
is
that
that-
discovery?
I don't know anything about...
Wait a minute, wait.
What's the matter?
I'm
What's the
trying
matter?
to tell
What's
you.
the matter? Mr... Well, what are you doing here?
Why, I'm just waiting.
You're waiting. Mr. Ziegfeld's waiting.
Thames is just like traffic. Sometimes you gotta stop, sometimes you gotta go.
Yeah, but a smart driver don't beat the lights.
Stepped out of a cloud. I want to take you away, away from the crowd.
Forget your woe and your worries. Forget the trouble you take. And be